Hi, Kimberly. How are you? Let me adjust my camera there a little bit. I remember you. I've read for you before. So thank you for coming back. It's been a hot minute, I know. So we're just going to shuffle the cards that you're familiar with. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to remind you that you have the power within yourself to change the way the outcome or the way things go. We'll phrase it that way. I think it's a little bit better. With that being said, you can change that according to thought, word, or deed. What I read for you is only what I am seeing according to the situation that you asked about and the energies that I'm getting from the cards. So with that being said, I'm just going to shuffle. And we don't really need to shuffle much for you apparently. So one more, and I think we're good. Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and cut the cards. So how have you been? I'm hoping that everything has gone well for you of late. Okay, so just as a recap, and I'm going to adjust this a little bit better. There we go. Okay, so just as a recap, I never flip the card, and for end, I always flip it this way. So it'll go from towards the right. So this first card it represents you. It is a 9 of Swords, right side up. The next card is the Magician, reversed. However, because it crosses you, it's always red, right side up. The next card is the Moon, reversed. This card goes into your distant past foundation. The next card is the Initiate of Chalices. Let's see if I can hold that a little bit better. That one is more current events, probably about, give or take 2 or 3 months backwards and the same forwards. The next card is face card, just to show you, so you know I'm giving you all of the cards. This card is a happy card. This card is the 6 of Wands, and that one is right side up. The next card is the Stars, reversed. So just to go over the position, the 6 of Wands goes into your near future. This is usually about 3 to 6 months in the future. And the Stars, which is reversed, is going into the distant future, which is usually about 6 months and on. The next 4 cards I'm not going to flip right now, but they represent where you are, your environment, your hopes and fears, and the final outcome. So let's look at the cards. Even if you hadn't have told me the question and the circumstances surrounding it, as far as his sign being a younger Virgo, your sign being an older Scorpio, or at least older than him, I would have known just by looking at the cards that this question was about love. The card that represents you, the 9 of Swords, right side up, tells me a whole lot about where you are at mentally. This tells me that there is a lot of anguish and a lot of strife and a lot of sleepless nights and just anxiety overall. You just can't decide which way to go, whether or not it's even worth putting your energy into. The card that crosses you, which is always red right side up, which is the Magician, says that you already know the answer to the question that you asked. You've known it for a while. You have it within you. If anything, you're looking more for validation. You're looking more for the permission to do what you feel you need to do and to move forward as you feel you need to move forward. I understand that you are completely head over heels for this person. And I think initially you were kind of, for lack of a better term, persuaded by his energies and all of this love and affection. And it's a great ego to have a younger man interested in you. But I'm telling you right now, this particular situation doesn't feel like it's working. Feels like there is a lot of discord, a lot of you've worked through some secrecy. There has been some stuff from the past that has come forward, some stuff from the past that has been brought to your attention, whether it was something having to do, I almost feel like it was with him, and that it was brought to your attention, that you were made aware of it. Not necessarily per se that he was actively keeping secrets from you, but that is how it felt. That is where your headspace has been at. And that's clearly here with the moon and it being reversed. That tells me that things that were kept perhaps under wraps or hidden are coming into the light. So, and that's not been all that long ago. I mean, that is your distant past foundation, but I am going to say that that is a little bit more near than really far behind. Have you guys been together for a while? Because I don't feel like you have. And I think and really feel like this is still a relatively young and new relationship. I feel like things are going to come to a natural conclusion with this individual. It's going to hurt. However, when things come to the head that they need to come to, when the events happen to bring things to their natural conclusion, it will feel right. You're going to question it at first. That's this card right here. Okay, that particular card is the Initiate of Chalices. I'll turn it right side up so you can read the title, but it was reversed. So it was read this way, which tells me that even now you're second guessing yourself. You know, in your heart of hearts, in your gut, your intuition, you know exactly what you need to do and the whys. And honestly, I feel like you are going to move on from the situation relatively rapidly. All things considered, you asked me before if I saw somebody else. Yes, I do see somebody else. And I see that it will be a happy union. I almost feel like it's somebody that you know, that perhaps you friend zoned previously, that will be there kind of as a rock for you to lean on. Somebody who you may not even really put much stock or attention into, but that relationship will grow. If it hasn't started already, it will continue to grow. And I'm going to tell you that that's probably between about 6 and 9 months from now. It's a little bit further out in the near future, but it's not really, really, really far out. However, old ghosts have that really big potential to rear their ugly head. This is this card right here. The Stars reversed. When you catch yourself comparing, don't. This person that I see that there's a lot of potential with, they're going to meet you more on an equal level. There isn't going to be a whole lot of contrast. You're just going to mesh. You're just going to fit. However, with that being said, the person that you mesh with, the person that you fit with, if you continually compare them, then you will almost dissolve the relationship before it starts. Don't do that to yourself, because you could be really, really happy with this person. Let's look at the other cards, see what they have to say. So this card, we're going to flip this way. This card represents you. And of any card that could represent you, this is an apt card. This is Death reversed. Now, that does not mean a physical death. Death, in this particular instance especially, and with it being reversed, tells me you were aware that you were in a transitory period. You were aware that you were at a crossroads. And you already know the direction to go. It's almost like you're looking for permission to do it. And I'm telling you right now, do it. Take that leap. I really feel like you're going to be okay. The next card is Eight of Pentacles reversed. So this is your environments. And interesting that that is a monetary card. Out of all of the emotions that come into play, finances come up, which is a little bit weird, but it tells me that that is a card that actually signifies that, trying to figure out the wording, sorry, forgive me. Honestly, if you've been paying for a lot of stuff, don't. If you were the one that has been covering bills, and when you guys go out to eat, and when you guys go do stuff that's fun or whatever, don't. If you're loaning them money, stop. That is really kind of what that card says, is you need to cut. Just stop. On a financial level where he is concerned, just be done. It needs to balance out, and I really do feel like things are just going to kind of come to a natural conclusion. Let's look at your hopes or fears. Yes. This one is the Initiate of Pentacles. Now, again, Pentacles are traditionally known for being a finance card. In this particular situation, you're kind of wondering, can I do it on my own? Will I be okay? Will I survive on my own? And I'm telling you, yes, you will be just fine. You might have to make a few allowances. You might have to be a little bit more frugal, but you will be absolutely 100% okay. Okay, let's look at the final outcome according to the question that you asked and the surrounding cards, which is the Justice card, and Justice is reversed. So let's take that into consideration with the other surrounding cards. I find it interesting that you have a Major Arcana card, specifically the Justice card, reversed. Things are going to balance themselves out. If you allow them to, everything will take its natural course and it will all balance on its own. I have a puppy coming to join me who's lending its energies. Really, the balance that you're searching for, especially in your romantic life, especially as far as, and it really will overflow into the other areas and aspects of your life, it's going to balance out. I have a very, very strong feeling. I'm looking at the cards, and they're all indicative of the same thing, which is overall balance. You just have to allow that balance to happen. It's not going to be overnight, not by a long shot. I know that that's something that we all wish for, is that we could just wake up one day and things would go exactly the way we want them to. Unfortunately, that is not how life works, as you know. However, give it a little bit of time and things are going to balance themselves out beautifully. They are going to just kind of mesh. Everything is going to fall into place. It's almost like when you're sitting there and you're trying to put a puzzle together and nothing's really fitting, and then you step away for a minute and you come back and you start looking at it, and all of a sudden you start finding pieces that fit and everything is just fitting exactly where it needs to. That is the feeling that I'm getting for your romantic and your love life, is that it's all just going to kind of fall into place, and it's all just going to, where it once was just a jumbled mess, it's all just gonna be perfect. Maybe not perfect, I guess that would be the wrong adjective to use, but it's all just going to work itself out. And yours is a unique situation insofar as it's rare that I see things just flowing, just beautifully, just mixing the way they should. So I hope that answers your question. I am going to go ahead and wrap this up, as I'm not seeing anything else that's really pertinent that needs to come through. Nothing is really coming to me. So with that, I'm sending you forward with love and light.